Paying attention is something we all do, but often we do not really think about it. Many times we believe we are paying attention, but in truth, our minds are busy with other things. We might be talking to a friend, reading a message, or walking down a street, but our thoughts are far away. Maybe we are thinking about the past, or worrying about the future. Sometimes our bodies are in one place, but our minds are somewhere else. To truly pay attention means to be here now. It is not just about looking at something with our eyes, or listening with our ears. It is deeper than that. It means to bring our whole mind, our heart, and even our body to the present moment. When we do this, we see things as they really are, not as we imagine them to be. We begin to notice details that we usually miss. We become more awake, more alive. In our busy modern lives, it is easy to lose this ability. There are so many things pulling at our attention, our phones, our jobs, our worries, and even our hopes. We often feel we have no time to stop and really notice what is happening around us. But paying attention is not just about slowing down. It is about caring for the present moment. It is about giving respect to whatever is in front of us, no matter how small or simple it may seem. When we learn to pay attention, life becomes richer. We find meaning in simple things: a cup of tea, the sound of rain, the face of someone we love. We start to understand ourselves and others better. The world becomes less confusing and more peaceful, even if just for a moment. Many people believe that seeing and noticing are the same, but there is actually an important difference. Seeing is something automatic. Our eyes are open, and we see what is around us. We see colors, shapes, and movements. But noticing is different. Noticing means that we pay close attention to what we are seeing. It means we become aware of the details and the meaning behind them. Imagine you are walking in a park. You might see many trees and flowers. You notice the green leaves, the shape of the branches, and maybe even the small insects moving on the ground. But on most days, you simply walk by. You see the trees, but you do not really notice them. They become part of the background, something you expect to be there, so you do not look closely. When we start to notice, the world changes. A tree is no longer just a tree. We see the roughness of the bark, the way the sunlight shines through the leaves, and the gentle movement of the branches in the wind. We notice how each flower has its own color and shape. We realize how everything around us is unique and special. Noticing helps us to feel more connected to the world. We start to see the beauty that is always present, but often hidden. This practice can also help us in our relationships. When we notice how someone feels or the small things they do, we can understand them better. We show them that they are important to us. In our daily lives, we often forget to notice. We are busy and our minds are full. But if we take a moment to notice, even the ordinary things can become extraordinary. This simple act can bring more peace and happiness into our lives. In our daily lives, we often do the same things again and again. We wake up, prepare breakfast, go to work, come home, and sleep. These routines can make us feel bored or tired because they seem ordinary and uninteresting. But when we bring awareness to our daily actions, even simple things can become meaningful and fresh. For example, think about brushing your teeth. Most people do it automatically, without thinking. But what if, for just a moment, you pay full attention to this action? You might notice the cool feeling of water, the taste of the toothpaste, the sound of the brush, and the way your hand moves. Suddenly, this simple action becomes a new experience. You may feel more awake, more present. The same is true for eating a meal. When we eat without awareness, we may not even taste our food. We may look at our phones or think about other things. But when we focus on the taste, smell, and texture of the food, eating becomes a joy. We appreciate the effort that went into making the meal. We feel gratitude for the people who grew the ingredients and prepared the food. Bringing awareness to our daily life is not difficult. It just requires us to remember to come back to the present moment. We can choose one activity each day and pay close attention to it. With practice, this awareness spreads to other parts of our life. We start to notice the beauty in everyday moments and the people around us. Life does not have to be exciting or extraordinary to be meaningful. When we are truly aware, we find that ordinary life is full of wonders, waiting for us to notice them. It is natural for our minds to wander. Even if we want to pay attention, we find ourselves thinking about other things. We might remember something from yesterday, or plan for something that will happen tomorrow. Sometimes, we start worrying about problems, or we dream about things we want. Our mind is always busy, jumping from one thought to another, like a monkey swinging from tree to tree. This happens to everyone. It is just the way the human mind works. Our minds are always looking for information, trying to solve problems, or searching for pleasure. In the past, this helped us survive. We needed to notice dangers and find food. But now, in modern life, there are so many things that fight for our attention. Advertisements, messages, and social media keep pulling us in different directions. Our phones especially make it easy for our minds to be somewhere else. When our minds wander, we can easily miss what is happening right now. We may forget where we put our keys, or not really hear what a loved one is saying. We can also become more anxious or stressed because our thoughts create problems that may not even exist. The more our minds wander, the less connected we feel to the world and the people around us. Understanding that our minds wander can help us. It is not something to feel bad about. Instead, we can gently remind ourselves to come back to the present. If we notice that our thoughts have drifted, we can just return to what we are doing without judging ourselves. Over time, this becomes easier, and we find that we are able to enjoy life more with a calmer and clearer mind. Modern life is filled with noise. This noise is not just the sound of cars, music, or people talking. It is also the noise of information, news, notifications, and messages that come to us every day. Our smartphones and other devices make it easy for us to stay connected, but they also make it hard for us to find quiet moments. There is always something new to look at, something to read, or something to worry about. This constant noise has a strong effect on our minds and hearts. We may start to feel restless or tired without knowing why. Our minds become crowded with thoughts and worries, making it difficult to relax. When we hear so many voices from the outside world, it becomes hard to hear our own voice inside. We lose touch with our own feelings and needs because we are always focused on what is happening outside of us. Many people think that they need to be busy all the time to be successful or happy. They move quickly from one task to another, trying to do as much as possible. But when we live this way, we often forget what really matters. We lose the ability to enjoy simple things, like a quiet walk or a gentle conversation. Our relationships may also suffer, because we do not give our full attention to the people we care about. Finding moments of silence in a noisy world is important. It gives us a chance to rest and recover. When we create space for quiet, even for a short time, we can hear our own thoughts more clearly. We can understand what we truly need, and we can begin to find peace, even in the middle of our busy lives. Many people believe that happiness comes from big events or special achievements. We often wait for something exciting to happen, a vacation, a new job, or a big celebration, before we feel truly happy. But in reality, much of life is made up of small, simple moments. These moments may seem unimportant, but they hold a quiet beauty that we often miss. Think about the start of your day. Maybe you wake up and see the soft morning light coming through your window. You hear the gentle sounds of birds, or you feel the warmth of your blanket. These are not big events, but if you pay attention, you can find comfort and peace in them. The first sip of coffee or tea in the morning, a friendly smile from someone you meet, or the sound of gentle rain. These simple experiences can bring us real joy. Sometimes we are too busy or distracted to notice these moments. We rush through our day, always thinking about what is next. When this happens, life can feel empty, no matter how much we have. But when we slow down and really notice what is happening around us, we begin to see the beauty that is always there. This beauty is not loud or exciting. It is quiet and gentle, but it can touch our hearts deeply. It reminds us that happiness does not have to be far away. It can be found right here, in this moment, if we are willing to notice it. When we appreciate simple moments, we feel more thankful for our lives. We realize that every day brings its own gifts, even if they are small. Learning to see the beauty in simple moments can change how we feel about life. It helps us feel more satisfied and at peace, no matter what is happening around us. It is surprising how easy it is to miss things that really matter. We may think we are paying attention, but our minds are often somewhere else. Sometimes we are so busy thinking about our problems, our plans, or our worries that we do not notice what is right in front of us. Even the things or people that are most important can be overlooked. One reason this happens is because our daily routines become so familiar. When we see the same faces or do the same tasks every day, they start to blend into the background. Our brains save energy by not focusing on what they already know. But this means we stop noticing the special qualities in the people we love or the value in our daily lives. We take things for granted and forget how precious they are. Another reason is that we are always in a hurry. We want to finish our work quickly or move on to the next thing. In this rush, we often miss small signs of kindness, changes in the feelings of others, or moments of beauty that pass by quietly. Sometimes we do not realize we have missed something important until it is too late. Technology also plays a part. Our phones and screens draw our attention away from the real world. We check messages or social media while eating, walking, or spending time with family. While these tools can be helpful, they can also distract us from what is truly meaningful. When we begin to notice what we usually miss, we start to feel more connected to our lives and the people around us. We remember that the most important things are often quiet and simple. They do not ask for our attention, but they are always there, waiting for us to see them. Recognizing this can help us live with more gratitude and care each day. Listening is something we do every day, but often we do not listen deeply. We hear sounds and words, but our minds are busy or distracted. True listening is more than just hearing. It means opening ourselves to the world around us and giving our full attention, even to the quietest things. When we listen deeply, we can hear more than just voices or noise. We notice the sound of the wind moving through the trees, the laughter of children, or the quiet hum of life in the background. These sounds can help us feel more connected to the present moment. They remind us that life is always happening, even when we are not paying attention. Deep listening is also important in our relationships. When we truly listen to another person, we are not just waiting for our turn to speak. We give them our attention, and we try to understand how they feel, not just what they say. This kind of listening can make others feel respected and valued. It can build trust and make our connections with others stronger. In our busy lives, it is easy to ignore the world around us. We walk down the street with headphones on, or we focus on our screens instead of the people nearby. But if we take a moment to listen, we can discover a whole world of sounds and feelings that we usually miss. We may even find answers to problems or questions that have been troubling us. Deep listening does not require special skills. It only asks that we pause and give our attention. When we practice listening with our whole heart, the world becomes richer and more alive. We start to notice small miracles in everyday life, and we feel more peaceful inside. There is something special that happens when we are truly present. Presence means being fully here, not thinking about the past or the future, but living in this very moment. Most of the time, our bodies are in one place, but our thoughts are somewhere else. When we bring our attention back to where we are, something begins to change inside us. Being present helps us see life more clearly. We notice the details, the color of the sky, the feeling of the air, the expression on a friend's face. Even ordinary moments become more meaningful. Presence is not just about noticing the outside world. It also means being aware of our own feelings and thoughts, without trying to push them away or change them. We learn to accept ourselves as we are. This simple act of being present can transform the way we experience life. Worries about the future become smaller. Regrets about the past lose their power. We find it easier to deal with stress because we are focused on what is happening right now, not what might happen later. When we are present, we often feel calmer and more at peace. Presence also changes how we connect with others. When we give someone our full attention, they can feel it. Our relationships become deeper and more honest. People feel heard and understood, and we feel closer to them. Even short conversations can become special if we are truly there. It is not always easy to be present, especially with all the distractions in modern life. But the more we practice, the more natural it becomes. Presence is like a light that makes everything brighter. It can turn an ordinary day into something beautiful and full of meaning simply because we are really here to experience it. Nature is a wonderful teacher if we are willing to pay attention. Every day, we are surrounded by trees, flowers, birds, and clouds. Most of the time, we walk past these things without noticing them. But when we stop and look closely, we discover that nature is full of small lessons and quiet wisdom. For example, consider a simple leaf on the ground. If you look carefully, you may notice its shape, the lines that run through it, and the way its color changes as it dries. Each leaf is unique, even if it comes from the same tree. Nature teaches us that every part of life is special, and nothing is exactly the same as anything else. This can help us understand that we too are unique and valuable just as we are. Watching how the seasons change is another way to learn from nature. The cycle of spring, summer, fall and winter shows us that everything in life has its own time. There are times for growth and times for rest. Sometimes we may feel impatient or worried when life does not go the way we want. But nature reminds us that everything changes, and each season has its own beauty and purpose. Listening to the sound of rain, feeling the warmth of sunlight, or seeing a bird in flight can all teach us to appreciate the present moment. Nature does not hurry, but everything gets done in its own time. If we learn to watch and listen, we can bring more patience and peace into our lives. By noticing the details of the natural world, we remember that we are part of something larger. This connection with nature can give us comfort and inspiration, especially when life feels difficult or uncertain. Nature's small details help us see the world and ourselves with new eyes. Patience is a quality that many people find difficult to practice, especially in today's fast-moving world. We want things to happen quickly and easily, whether we are waiting for a message, a result, or even a simple task to finish. But true patience is not just about waiting. It is about how we wait and what we do with our attention during that time. When we pay close attention to what is happening right now, we naturally become more patient. For example, if we are waiting in a line, we can use this time to notice the world around us. We might listen to the sounds nearby, feel the air on our skin, or watch the people passing by. Instead of feeling bored or frustrated, we begin to appreciate the small details that we usually ignore. This simple shift in attention can turn waiting into a peaceful moment. Patience also grows when we notice how things develop step by step. Think about planting a seed. At first, nothing seems to happen, but if we pay attention each day, we see the tiny changes, the first sprout, the growth of leaves, and finally the flower or fruit. Nature shows us that all good things take time, and our efforts bring results slowly, not all at once. Learning to be patient with ourselves is just as important. Sometimes we make mistakes or find it hard to change old habits. By paying attention to our own journey, we can be kinder to ourselves. We see that growth comes little by little, and it is okay to take small steps. When we use attention to practice patience, we feel less stressed and more at ease. Life's challenges become easier to handle, and we discover that many beautiful things in life can only be seen when we wait with an open heart. Many people search for happiness in big dreams or rare experiences, but much of our joy can be found in the ordinary things we do every day. When we start to pay real attention to these simple moments, we can rediscover the joy that has always been there, waiting for us. Think about the routine parts of your day: washing your hands, opening a window to let in fresh air, or sitting down to a meal. These actions may seem small, but they can become sources of happiness if we notice them fully. The cool feeling of water on your hands, the gentle breeze coming inside, or the taste of your food. These are all gifts that can brighten our day. Sometimes we rush through these moments because we are busy or distracted, but when we slow down, we see how special they really are. There is also joy in the people around us. A short conversation with a neighbor, a wave from a friend, or sharing a laugh with a loved one can lift our hearts. Even when life feels difficult, these small connections remind us that we are not alone. Paying attention to the kindness and warmth in our everyday interactions can help us feel more joyful and grateful. Rediscovering joy is not about changing our whole life. It is about changing how we look at life. We do not need to wait for something big or exciting to happen. Instead, we can open our eyes to the small, ordinary moments that fill our days. Each one has its own beauty, and together they create a rich and meaningful life. When we appreciate the ordinary, we realize that joy is always near. It is in the little things that we do and the simple moments we share. All we have to do is notice them. Many people wonder how to live a more meaningful and satisfying life. We often think that we need to achieve something big or change our situation to feel fulfilled. But real fulfillment comes from living fully in each moment, no matter where we are or what we are doing. Living fully does not mean doing everything perfectly or having an exciting life every day. It simply means giving our full attention to whatever is in front of us. This could be something as simple as folding clothes, listening to a friend, or looking at the sky. When we focus on the present moment, we start to feel more alive and more connected to our surroundings. It is easy to fall into the habit of waiting for the future. We tell ourselves that happiness will come when we finish our work, when we go on vacation, or when we solve all our problems. But life is happening right now, in this moment. If we are always looking ahead, we may miss the beauty and meaning that is already here. We can practice living more fully by bringing our mind back whenever we notice it has wandered. We can gently remind ourselves to pay attention to what we see, hear, and feel right now. Even if the moment is ordinary or quiet, it still has value. Each moment is a chance to experience life, to learn, and to grow. When we live one moment at a time, life feels less heavy. Our worries about the past and future become smaller. We begin to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. By living more fully, we can find peace and happiness in everyday life, and we discover that every moment matters. Paying true attention may seem simple, but it can deeply change the way we experience our lives. When we bring our awareness to each moment, we start to see the richness and meaning that is always present. Ordinary days become filled with new discoveries, and even small things can bring us peace and joy. Every moment, no matter how quiet or routine, offers us the chance to be truly alive. Through careful attention, we learn to appreciate both the world around us and the people close to us. We become more understanding and gentle, both with ourselves and with others. The more we notice, the more we find to be grateful for. This kind of living helps us move through challenges with a little more calmness and courage. It reminds us that we do not need to look far to find happiness. It can be right here, in this very moment, if we choose to notice it. Before I finish, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone watching these videos. Thank you very much for your support. Whether you have left a like, subscribed to this channel, shared your thoughts in the comments, sent a super thanks, or become a member. Your kindness and encouragement mean a great deal to me. This community is very special, and I am honored to share these moments with you. May each day bring you new chances to notice the beauty around you. May you find peace and meaning in your own life, one moment at a time. Thank you again for being here, and for being a part of this journey together.